honestly just haven't done any video, to be honest with you. So anyway, we're starting a new thing. I got a buddy. We've been talking quite a bit, doing some videos. I'm sorry, doing lineups quite a bit. So anyway, we're going to talk for a while about some picks. I'm going to go a little more in depth than usual. Show you some guys we're liking, and we're going to go through the whole slate for you guys. Only 4 games, so we'll see how it goes. So anyway, Anthony, you want to say hi?
Yeah, checking in here. This is Anthony. How's it going, guys?
All right. So anyway, like I said, we're going to look at each game, probably each position, and see how it all goes. So, all right, let's get started with the first game we got. We got New York and Detroit. I have to look at the over and under here real quick. Looked at it earlier. So, all right, the over and under on this one, 203, and then Detroit by 5.5. So, let me see. So, we talked about this earlier, but honestly, not really liking too many people here.
Yeah, not too high scoring, and not any key matchups to execute on here. I don't see any DVP that's really standing out for me.
No, and the only thing maybe, like I said, if Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is out, maybe Stanley Johnson as a GPP because he'll be filling in for him.
Yeah, when Johnson possibly gets a minute increase, that opens the door for him at value.
Yeah, last time out against Boston, he had 30 minutes, so he played quite a bit. He only got 11 points, 9 rebounds, got 21 points, but $4,000. Not really losing too much there. Small forward is not too good tonight, so you might have to go and do that.
Yeah, if you get 20 points out of Stanley, I mean, he covers value. That's more than enough for him.
Yeah, and the other thing is you might have to get Anthony. We talked about it earlier. There's really no good small forwards out there, so we might have to do that.
Definitely helps out to take a cheaper guy to spend up and get somebody like that on a night like this.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe Drummond, you can do that, $8,700, but we all know what Drummond's been doing recently. He's been all over the place. Yeah, centers are just not good tonight, so you might have to spend up to get him. I don't know.
Yeah, out of all the mid to high price guys tonight, I think he might be the safest to get closest to value. And I really, it's kind of hard to pinpoint somebody who's going to definitely hit 5 times, 6 times value tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but mostly besides that, Robin Lopez is probably not going to go there. But
no, in the matchup between those two, I think I'm going to go with Drummond.
Oh yeah, obviously he's more expensive, but
Gonna offer you a higher floor.
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously, more expensive, but should be fine. Who else we got? I don't think I'm really liking anyone else. Maybe Galloway for some reason if Calderon's out again, but Detroit pretty good against the small guys, so not sure about that.
Yeah, it's to me there's other matchups I'd like to execute on and attack.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really mention Reggie Jackson too much.
I mean, I guess it is a little easy to overlook him. But yeah, if going up against Calderon, they give up a lot of points. I think if you look back to the last 10, they've been giving up huge points actually.
Yeah, let me look it up here. All right, let me see here. Point guards. Yeah, they're actually not too bad, actually. But, like you said, your last 5 is 43.4, but the last 10 is 44. But overall, they're on the bottom against point guards. But see, I just don't know if I trust Jackson's minutes or not. He just doesn't get enough value.
No, not since Jennings came back. He doesn't really offer enough value to me.
No, so he's $7,000. And I don't know. I think he should be around $6,000 right now for me personally. But
Yeah, if I'm going to spend that much money, I'd rather spend another 1,000 and feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, yeah, that's mostly it from that one. I don't know if you like anybody else from that one, really.
Not really.
Um, okay. So, yeah, like I said, maybe Anthony, maybe Stanley Johnson if you want to go there, but for the most part, probably going to stay away from that one.
Yeah, I'm going to monitor the KCP situation and keeping a close eye on Stanley Johnson. That's about
Yeah,
it from this game.
yeah, like I said, maybe Drummond if you need to spin up, but um,
It could end up being that way tonight.
yeah. All right, the next game we got is Houston and Phoenix. 213 over to under, so high scoring game, and Houston by 8. So obviously, I've said this before, it's going to be a scrappy game just because Phoenix, is probably going to play a lot of their players. It still says night game time decision. So maybe good win against Beverly, not too bad of a defender. I think there's other cheaper options out there at point guard tonight just because, Goodwin is just all over the place. You don't know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Gonna have to check and monitor that situation all night. If he comes back, I'm not really looking to play him, but it definitely eliminates Goodwin from contention for me.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and then obviously you got Harden. He's pretty expensive though, 11,000. I don't know if I can get him in there. I'd probably go a little cheaper with DeRozan.
Yeah, 11,000. You need 55 points from that guy
I
tonight.
mean,
I mean, he might be able to hit that, but do they really need him to?
yeah. His last games. Miami, Washington, OKC, San Antonio. They really did need him in those, but they may not need him too much in this one. I mean, he'll obviously still put up numbers, but
Yeah, I think even the best players have a tendency to play to their competition, and big time players playing big time games, and that's not really what this is.
yeah, definitely. But on the other hand, though, you got we both like Devin Booker quite a bit, obviously.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, I want to go the cheaper route on this game. 11,000 is too much when you can get two guys for that price in this game.
yeah, definitely. And the Rockets are the fifth worst team against shooting guards. Harden, really good scorer, but not too good of a defender. And Booker's been, pretty decent for the most part. His last two games, 31 and 33 points, $5,400. Price is going up a little bit, but I do like him quite a bit since Phoenix doesn't really have any scorers. Booker's had to come on here recently, so I like him quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's the best matchup to attack on this game, and the price is right. So I will definitely be looking to take Booker in as many lineups as possible.
And then you got Ariza and PJ Tucker. We talked about PJ Tucker. This guy's everywhere. He gets huge minutes, $4,800. He's a hit and miss kind of guy. He can have a good game, then he can have a bad game. He does have a good matchup against Houston though. So who are you going to get out of Booker here tonight? Sorry, Tucker.
Yeah, he's Jekyll and Hyde for sure. Ever since Warren's gone down, his minutes, they've had to be up. He's going to have to play. I like taking guys like that. Yeah, he might get you 15 tonight, but he's more likely going to get you about 20, 25, maybe even 30.
Yeah. Plus, there's a small slate, nobody else out there, and I think Tucker probably has the most upside here tonight. Um,
Yeah, on the other hand, just a little bit more expensive, listed at small forward, but he's going to be playing power forward tonight. Trevor Ariza,
yep.
not, yeah. I think I'd rather go with Tucker in that price range because Ariza is going to have a tougher matchup with playing up against power forward against Markieff Morris.
Yeah, Tucker's projected at 23, Ariza at 24. Their ceiling is almost identical, 34.9, 34.8. So,
Ariza
yeah,
has been hotter of late. That's the only thing.
yeah, he has been quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind Tucker, obviously, since there's nobody else, and then Ariza, but I'm probably not going to put Ariza and Tucker in the same lineup.
No, that's too
I don't know.
risky.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Who else we got here? Obviously, Markieff Morris. We all saw what he did last time out. Last two games, actually, not too bad, but this guy is just, he's everywhere right now. We've been talking about that. I think the Suns are trying to showcase him for trade bait.
Yeah, the closer we get to the trade deadline, the more minutes he's been seeing. So, the correlation is there.
Yeah. So obviously Houston not good against power forwards, but you might have to take Morris tonight just because power forwards are not too good. Obviously taking a risk on him, but if he gets you 25, 30 points, you should be fine. He's only $5,200, so.
Yeah, this game, is supposed to be one of the most competitive games and the highest scoring. So, try to find guys that you're going to get at a relatively affordable price who can get you more points than what their value's at right now. I
Yeah.
think he offers that to you. He's got the right DVP tonight. Houston gives up a lot of points. There's question marks on a couple guys in their front court. So, that plays into that,
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing, I don't know if you want to go with Josh Smith or not. Clint Capella, game time decision. Terrence Jones is already out, so maybe if Capella is out for some reason, maybe Josh Smith comes back into the discussion maybe as a cheap punt play against Phoenix.
Yeah, it obviously depends on Capella not playing. If he doesn't play, Josh Smith, he's worth a look for sure. I don't know. When it comes down to it, I think I might want to go with Morris instead. I think he's going to be on the floor a lot more than Smith, and he's going to offer a higher ceiling.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously Smith a punt play, but I'm probably gonna have to go with Morris for the cheaper power forward here tonight. Um, and then you got Dwight Howard. We all know he got suspended the other day. For at least a week and a half, he has not been doing anything. Been injured and not getting his full minutes because of coming back from injury. So I don't know if I want to spend $7,800 on a guy that is very inconsistent.
No, I'm not going to go as far as to say he might get suspended again tonight, but even when he does play on the court, he is wildly inconsistent. It's very hard to peg what Dwight Howard you're going to see on a given night. Tonight, he's got a tough matchup, I think. Phoenix is actually pretty good against the center position. They don't have any guys that are going to surprise you or wow you, but yeah, they've been pretty consistent all year.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and sorry, the Suns are the seventh best team against centers. So they may not be too good, but the one position they are good at is the center position with Chandler. He is getting old, but he's still not too bad of a defender. So, and like I said, Howard is not all the way back. Maybe if it was the Howard from 3 weeks ago, getting 38, 73 points, but I'm not going to test him here tonight just because he's come back from a suspension and everything. So I'm probably going to fade him.
Yeah, if you want to spend up that much, you might as well go the whole way and get Drummond.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's mostly probably it from that one. Maybe Chandler or Lynn. I don't know if I want to test that though.
Yeah, I think there's more gambling guys that you can go with on the Houston side. You never know, if Brewer, Thornton, or even Terry, not Terry so much, but any of those guys, they might be able to go off, but it's really hard to tell. I feel more comfortable taking these Phoenix guys, these young guys who have been seeing a huge uptick in their minutes, and they have a cheaper price tag.
Yeah, definitely. And we always joke about it. Marcus Thornton, is he going to have a good game? Is he not? He's just such a hit and miss player. We talked about earlier. The only reason he gets minutes once in a while is if 2 or 3 of the Houston guys are injured. But for the most part, fade that guy. He's just so inconsistent.
Yeah, I pretty much fade him every day because you can never tell what he's going to be.
Nope. So, Devin. Yeah. So next game we got L.A. Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans, 208 over and under, and New Orleans by 10. We talked about earlier. I honestly think this is going to be a closer game than 10. just because Lakers do put up a pretty good fight for the most part. Um,
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I think as of late, one of the strengths has been Julius Randle. He might be able to play up against tonight against Anthony Davis.
yeah, definitely. Um, we saw what Aldridge did against Davis the other day. Destroyed him pretty good.
Yeah,
So
and you got another young athletic guy coming in to go up against the Brow.
yeah, plus Larry Nance isn't playing, so I like that quite a bit.
Absolutely. Anytime you can find a guy who you know is going to be on the floor about 38 to 40 minutes, maybe even more, and you can get him under $8,000, $9,000. Yeah, go with that guy.
Yeah, so I mean, you might have to spend up a little bit. But I'd probably take Randall over Morris just because Randall is more consistent, and Morris is just a hit and miss kind of guy. So $1,000 more, I'll go with Randall here instead of Morris.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable going that route. Um, I don't know if you feel like you want to do it, but I mean, you could definitely spend up at power forward tonight and go with both of these guys, Randall and Davis. Davis is going to get you probably 40, 45 points. He does offer you potential to get a big game, but I mean, that's a play you might want to consider tonight, but it's up to you. I don't know if I'm going to spend up huge at power forward tonight, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to, maybe Randall and Morris, but I might have to go with Davis and Randall. Davis is everywhere. Once in a while, he gets injured, and I always pick him when he gets injured. But um, he's 10,100, a little cheaper than Harden, and he may do the same thing as Harden. So I'm gonna go a little cheaper, probably with Davis over Harden. Um,
Yeah, there's only a couple guys on the board who have the 60 game potential, and not having one of them in your lineup is probably going to hurt you tonight. So, got to go with one of them. I feel more comfortable taking Davis than Harden in this situation.
do you like Anderson tonight or no? He's been just everywhere.
Well, obviously, he's a much safer play when Davis has some question marks around him. Right now, it looks like Davis is, I guess, recovered somewhat from that concussion scare that he had. It's kind of hard for me to take Anderson on a night like tonight, but you know, I, I'm not gonna tell anybody that they shouldn't take him because he does have potential.
Yeah, definitely. Um, last two games he hasn't been doing too good, but before he was destroying. But I'm probably gonna pick Randall. I think they're the same price.
Yeah,
Randall has a job. Anderson doesn't, so I'm gonna go with Randall here.
exactly.
And then the center position is just terrible. Don't really like anybody, obviously. Um,
No, a very punty play is Omer Ashik, but he's only going to get you 5, 6 times value, maybe once every 2, 3 months.
yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stay away from that. You said earlier you like Alonzo G.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. He's been delivering nice value, sneaky value to those who have been paying attention to him.
Yeah, the last couple games though, he's just been downright terrible. Obviously, Memphis and San Antonio, good defenses. As we know, Lakers are just downright terrible against defense. So maybe he can get you 20, 25 points. Um,
Yeah, we're gonna hope he doesn't get that 1 point performance again, though. But granted, that was against the Spurs.
yeah, that was just terrible.
I don't know many guys in the league who do well against Kawhi Leonard, and obviously, he is way below his level.
Yeah, definitely. And then I don't know what's up with Evans. Even if Evans comes back, I'm probably not going to touch him just because he's been out forever. Um,
Yeah,
um,
Pelicans backcourt, man, they've been great value for the past couple weeks.
yeah, they've been doing good, obviously, with Holiday and Norris Cole. But I think if Evans does come back, I think that's going to affect Norris Cole just a little bit.
Yeah, him more
Um,
so. Holiday is very secure in his bench role.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, we both like Norris Cole tonight. 36 and 32 against Memphis and San Antonio, two really hard teams. And Lakers are just downright terrible against point guards. So Yeah, I like Cole and Holiday, both of them tonight.
Yeah, one guy to watch out for too. For the past, I think 3 games, he's been looking pretty good when Evans has been out. A punt play tonight for your GPP is Bryce Jones.
Yeah, yeah. He signed a 10-day contract, fighting for his life mostly, so he's trying to play um, quite a bit. I mean, if you look at him, he has not been doing bad at all. 20 and 12 his last two, $3,500. So if you get 15 or 20 from him, you should be fine. Um,
I think honestly, I expect to see a lot of lineups with Bryce Jones in there. I think a popular play tonight is going to be spending up on Harden and putting in Bryce Jones as a punt. I don't know that I'm going to say that I'm going to do that in all my lineups, obviously, but I expect that to be a big tournament play.
yeah, definitely. But if for some reason Evans does come back, I think Jones is totally just
Oh
wiped
yeah,
out.
eliminates him from any kind of contention. I wouldn't even look twice.
No. And then we all know what Kobe Bryant did the other, last two games, but um, I just can't trust this guy, to be honest.
Yeah, the way Kobe's been going is he doesn't play back to backs, and even if they're not back to back, he's still he'll play one game, take two off. He's trying to preserve his body so he can finish out the season. He's obviously not pushing, trying to make a playoff push or anything. So it's tough to decide what night to take him. So maybe monitor him. But either way, honestly, I think that the Pelicans' backcourt defense has been pretty good as of late, and I just don't really see this being a Kobe Bryant night. But uh, I'm a Kings fan too.
Yeah, definitely. And then maybe we mentioned earlier maybe Lou Williams as a punt play. It does if Kobe is out. He's $5,800, not going to break the bank. Facing the Pelicans, for the most part, pretty easy matchup. He's going to have Jones on him. I don't know, Bryce Jones. I don't know how good of a defender or not,
I haven't
but
been able to see too much. Yeah.
no. But for the most part, I think Lou Williams should do fine here. Um, like I said, it should be a scrappy game. Lou Williams should get about 25, 30 points. I actually do like him a lot. Um,
Yeah, and if you don't want to have to spend up tonight at shooting guard, because there is that risk that Harden won't come through on value, so would be a nice little safe play.
yeah, mid-range guy. And then obviously we said Holiday and Cole. Some people like Clarkson quite a bit. Um, I just don't know if I can pick Clarkson. I think Cole might have a little bit more upside. And he's a little cheaper, but
Yeah, I haven't played Clarkson or Russell in quite a while. Those two, the two young Laker guards, lately they just have been very inconsistent. I can't really say that I want to take any of them and know that I'm going to get 6 times value.
yeah, and the Pelicans have been playing a little bit better against point guards as well. So, um, yeah, I just don't see any of them doing anything. D'Angelo Russell, he's still getting pretty big minutes, but just not producing. Um, I don't see anybody else out here. So yeah, that's mostly it from that one.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
for the most part, it's going to be hard to find your value plays out there tonight. So yeah,
Yeah.
not too much value tonight, but all
Well, I
right.
mean, how much can you expect on a 4 game slate too? So
Yeah, and you got Phoenix and L.A., New Orleans, all these scrappy teams. So, um, and the thing about the scrappy teams, L.A. and Phoenix, they know their season's over, so they're just gonna put a whole bunch of random guys out there for random minutes. So nobody really has a set number of minutes out there. So it's hard to guess who's gonna do what on what day.
yeah,
So
that's why
um,
you like to follow the injury news and kind of pivot off of that.
yeah, definitely. All right, our next game we got Toronto and Portland. 204 over and under, and Portland by one. This is going to be a hard game to figure out. Both teams are pretty good, playing pretty good here recently. Toronto lost, I think, the other day. Toronto, they have a 1-game winning streak, and Portland's been on a 5-game winning streak. So, Portland's figuring it out here quite a bit. Defense is doing a lot better. So
Yeah, they've actually been locking guys down in the backcourt.
yeah, Lillard and McCollum and Aminu, they've been doing pretty good work. Um, Lillard's been working on his defense quite a bit. So um, I don't know. Do you want to go Kyle Lowry against Lillard, or you going to pick Lillard?
In this matchup, I think I'm going to have to go with Lillard tonight. I think normally I would probably want to take Lowry more often than not, but lately it seems that he hasn't been 100% himself. Ever since he had that wrist injury, I think last week or earlier this week maybe, he snapped that wrist back, and you can see his production has gone down since then.
Yeah, definitely. And plus you got DeRozan by your side, so you don't really need to do too much. You got DeRozan shooting everything, so um,
Yeah, he's a pretty good Robin to his Batman, so I think he's leaning on him more so the past week.
yeah, definitely. Plus, I've seen the Trailblazers against point guards. They're getting a lot better against them. And obviously the Raptors are the third best team against point guards. So, both have hard matchup, but they're obviously both potential all stars. Lowry is, Lillard's not, but um, I don't know. I mean, like I said, they're both two both capable players. They can both go off if they need to. But like you said, if you had to pick one, I'd probably go with Lillard over Lowry here tonight. Um, so, and who else we got? We got DeRozan and McCollum. I like both of these guys too, but it's hard to pick everybody from this game.
Yeah, but I think if you're going to double up on a position in this matchup, you want to go with the shooting guards rather than the point guards. Obviously, they're cheaper, and McCollum I think is cheaper, but also their usage is going to be a little bit higher. I think DeRozan's definitely is higher going to be higher than Kyle Lowry's.
Yeah, the only bad thing about DeRozan, he's been on a little cold streak here recently. Has not been hitting value at all. Let me see his last 33 and 29, 8,100 bucks. Not been hitting value. And he faced Phoenix and Denver. Two usually pretty easy teams. He's been scoring quite a bit of real points, 24 and 22 real points, but DeRozan, he's usually just a scorer, doesn't do many rebounds or an assist. So, um, you know, for me, I'm probably going to take McCollum over DeRozan
Yeah,
just because McCollum had a huge night against Milwaukee for obvious reasons, not too good, but a little bit cheaper. You might be able to spend up and get somebody extra, but um, I
yeah.
mean, if you,
McCollum, we've seen what he can do earlier in the season. We know he has a high ceiling. Last game out, he did great. He came on really strong in the second half. If this game is anywhere near competitive, which it's gonna be, they're definitely gonna have to rely on his shooting.
yeah, and same with DeRozan. Both of them are going to have to shoot. Um, But they have DeRozan listed as a small forward in the starting lineup, so he is gonna, Aminu might be on him, as we know Aminu a pretty good defender, so that's a little discouraging. But I think DeRozan should be fine though.
Yeah, he's one of your upper echelon players. Not quite so matchup safe, I would say. He's not beating out every single guy in the league, but
No.
yeah, it should be a good competitive matchup if he faces off against Aminu tonight.
Yeah, and then you said that you may not you kind of like Ross a little bit. We talked about it. $4,300 though.
Yeah, right now RotoWire doesn't have Ross in the starting lineup. They have Powell, but I think Ross will see more minutes as the game goes on. I know they're obviously going to trust him more in the second half, so that's something to watch out for. For me, he's on my GPP radar.
Yeah, but I really like him to be, 3,900 bucks, 4,300. You're gonna need at least 20 to 25 points. I don't know if you can get that tonight.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
gone up. He's gone up in price, so it's like we said earlier, it's hard to find value tonight. You're gonna have to get a little creative if you really want to go looking for it.
yeah. And I said this earlier. Maybe if you want to do a huge GPP, Gerald Henderson, but I don't know about that. Um,
This is one of those games where you're gonna have to assume that starters are gonna be on the floor longer than
yeah,
bench players. So guys who have been stepping up and shining maybe don't get the opportunity tonight to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So, like you said, starters are probably going to play most of the time. So, Henderson, Allen Crabbe probably not going to get too many minutes. So, for the most part, like you said, the starters are probably going to handle it tonight. Yeah, then power forward, I don't really like anybody. Luis
Not in
Scola,
this matchup, no.
no, Luis Scola has been everywhere. Ed Davis doesn't get too many minutes. Leonard and Plumlee take quite a bit of his minutes, so he's just not doing too much here recently.
Yeah, in both front courts, I think outside of Jonas Valanciunas, you got a lot of role players out there who are just playing defense and running up and down the court.
Yep.
But with that being said, Valanciunas, he's a nice mid-range play tonight, I think.
Yeah, the only bad thing is the last two games, 19 minutes each. I obviously didn't watch those games, so I don't know if he foul trouble or they just didn't use him. So that's a little concerning. 19 minutes in his last two games. Don't know what happened there exactly. I see Biyombo. He's been getting a lot more minutes. Last time out, got 29 minutes against Phoenix. I don't know if you want to do a punt play with Biyombo. I don't know about that.
Whew. Yeah, that's a little risky tonight, I think. There's not a whole lot of centers out on the board that jump up, and call into my name, but I think I might have to spend up tonight at center rather than kind of spend down. I think I might have to try to find value in other positions. Biyombo, yeah, we know what he did earlier in the season. He was great, and he has a nice small price tag, but I mean, unless we get some kind of announcement, before tip off that he's going to get the start over Valanciunas, I just don't know if it's safe enough for me to take that risk.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think tonight is going to be, you pick Drummond or you have to go to Valanciunas. That's probably the only two guys out there that I see. Like I said, Howard, not sure about him. So I think it's going to be Drummond or Valanciunas. Maybe Plumlee, but Plumlee, 20 minutes in his last two games. Myers Leonard is taking quite a bit of his minutes. Myers Leonard is an outside shooter. Likes to shoot threes. A little bit more mobile than Plumlee, but I just don't know what's been going on with Plumlee these last couple of games. Valanciunas not too good of a defender, so if Plumlee does play his normal minutes, I think Plumlee should get at least 30 points. But like I said, I don't know what's going on with the minutes right now, so it's hard to trust him.
Yeah. Yeah, on Portland, it's really hard to tell which big man is going to come up for you on any given night. I would really not like to have to spend that much money on a guy who I don't even know if he's going to see 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, even when he gets his normal minutes, he only gets, at tops 30 minutes. So, on his last games, he got 25, 23, 29 minutes. So, he's topping around the 25 range. He's still producing pretty good, but he's just not getting enough minutes for me.
Yeah.
Maybe Myers Leonard. Like I said, he's just everywhere though. $4,000. Like I said, you're gonna have to spend up tonight on the center position, I think. So, let me see. That's 1, 2. All right, we went through all the games. Obviously, I guess we can make two lineups. We can make a 50-50 and a GPP lineup here tonight. Let's see how it goes. So I guess we can do our 50-50 one here first. So who's your point guard that your must-have point guard tonight?
Must-have point guard of the night. It's kind of hard to go out and say that. I think if Evans is out, I think Cole goes into there. But I might be going with Lillard as my must play.
Yeah. Yeah, they have Lowry and Lillard as the two top guys, obviously. Lillard projected at 37.6, Lowry at 37. So, they're about the same. Obviously, they're $100 short. Lillard has a little bit higher ceiling than Lowry. So, like I said, I do like probably going to go with Lillard here over Lowry.
I'm feeling much safer going that route tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so are we gonna do a mid-range point guard? Is that what you want to do? Norris Cole?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, most likely Cole. I like
Okay.
that combo.
Oh
This is
yeah,
obviously dependent on Evans being announced out.
yeah. Another guy we didn't talk about. We talked about him earlier though, but Patrick Beverly. Facing Phoenix. One of the worst teams against point guards. He's been very consistent. 28, 30, and 22 in his last 3 games. $4,800, $200 cheaper than Cole. But the only way I see using Beverly is, if you need 200 more dollars to get Drummond, something like that. But if you just have the extra money, I'm probably going to go with Cole here
Right.
tonight.
Yeah, if you need that $200, then Beverly can get you 25. If you have the 200 to spend, it would be nicer to get a guy who might get you 35.
Yeah, and if for some reason we have extra money, I don't mind going up to Drew Holiday either. He's been pretty good. He
Yeah,
scores quite a
definitely.
bit. But right now, it looks like Cole is just putting about the same numbers as Holiday is. So, um,
Yeah, and he's cheaper, so that makes the value nice.
but the only thing is Holiday. Out of the two, Holiday is the one that could go
Yeah,
off for
I believe
30
he
or
is
40. Yeah, definitely.
superior for the ceiling.
So, yeah, like I said, you might go with Holiday. But here we're gonna go with Lillard and Cole. All right, who's your shooting guard you want?
Well, I think obviously like the safe cash pick tonight. Low range is Booker, Devin Booker.
Okay. And then who do you want? DeRozan, Harden, McCollum? Who should we go with?
I'm thinking I'm probably going to go with McCollum.
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean Harden looks nice up there, but man, he's 11,000, and you're gonna need a lot of points from him. I just don't see him getting 60 here tonight against Phoenix. I mean, he has an easy matchup, but I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking him in a GPP, but yeah, trying to build a cash lineup where we can, get a all around pretty well rounded team. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think he's affordable tonight.
So, all right, next we got small forward. Small forward, like I said, is looking ugly. You might have to go with Anthony, um, because I said this earlier. I just don't want to have two cheap guys at the small forward position. That really weakens your lineup right there. Um, you really like to have an expensive or a mid-range guy, and then have a cheap guy. Is what I like to do. I don't like to have two guys in the same lineup. I mean, same position. So I'm going to put in
Right.
Anthony. Anthony. Not the best matchup, but you know, he can get you 40, 45 points here. Um, and there's just nobody else I really like. Ariza's not going to do it, so get Anthony and spin down for somebody cheap. So I don't know who you like for cheap. Um,
Well,
you got
if
Tucker Johnson. This is a 50-50, so we can't go with G or anybody like that. So
right, yeah, too far down. Honestly,
Tucker.
yeah, I was thinking Tucker.
Okay.
Um, and if the news comes out that KCP will not be playing, then I would maybe slide Stanley Johnson in there. But for now, we're
Yeah.
gonna go with Tucker. That's
Yeah.
safer.
Johnson. Even if Johnson is in the starting lineup, he still is a GP play. Um,
Yeah.
so we got $6,500 each. So
We're gonna have to spend down here a little bit actually.
yeah, we're gonna have to get somebody cheap at the power forward position. Um, Markieff Morris, Randall. Yeah. Because if we put in Drummond, and then it's only $5,400 each. So
So, oh man, I would love to have Drummond in my cash lineup,
yeah, definitely.
but then that forces a little bit of a GPP play out of your power forward position.
Yeah, definitely. Markeith 40. Yeah, I did Anthony and Morris, but you'd have to have a $4,300 center, and I just don't see anyone out there. But like we said, you don't really need too much from your center. If he gets you 20 points, you should totally be fine. Um, but I'd really like Randall instead of Morris. But in the lineup we got right now, I don't think we can get Randall in there. It
Nah, it
it'd
doesn't.
be
It doesn't seem
33.
like we can fit him in.
So you might have to go with Morris as a punt play, unless you want Randall, or sorry, if you want to take out Davis and put in Drummond instead and have two cheap power forwards. I don't know if you want to do that, or have a expensive power forward, mid-range power forward, and then a cheap center. I don't know what you think about that. Um,
I don't hate having Anthony Davis in there. I think he's a little expensive to have in there on the cash lineup, but he's probably going to go off for about 45, 50 points tonight.
yeah, definitely. But the only bad thing is, it's hard to find any center, and any center that we do pick up is obviously going to be a GPP play. Um, I'm just looking at it. It says Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is doubtful for Thursday, so it looks like he's going to be out for sure. So um, just got to update. So it looks like he's going to be out. So does that change at all? Do you want to maybe go Stanley or no?
I would like to go Stanley because if I'm going to spend around $4,000 to $5,000 on a guy, I want to know that he's going to be on the court, not splitting minutes like those cheap centers are going to be.
Yeah, now that puts us up to 51. Maybe if I take out Morris, if we take out, if we put in Stanley Johnson, have Anthony Davis, take out Morris, and then we'll have Valakunas, and our power forward would be $4,000. Um, and there's no cheap power forwards out there. So,
So, I mean, is Anthony Davis a must play in your cash lineup then,
well,
or is he proven to be a little too expensive?
I mean, the only thing is, there's just no centers out. I mean, power forwards out there. I mean, I think might have to spend up. We didn't talk about Porzingis, but I don't know if I want to go with Porzingis or not.
No, I don't. I don't really. I don't feel too comfortable taking him lately. He has not been hitting value right,
No,
and
he hasn't been doing anything.
everybody's been talking about it. All the commentators, he's in the so-called rookie slump.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I want to take out Davis really. I really would like to get Randall in there, but I just, we just.
Yeah. Can you fit Josh Smith in there then?
Well, what I did is I put in Davis and Randall, and now we got $4,100 for a center position. But put Josh Smith in there. Yeah, we'll see what that does here. But Stanley Johnson and Josh Smith. Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, this is not really working out
No,
as a cash lineup.
no, definitely not. And that still puts you at $6,100. And you still can't get Valakunas, so that's pointless. So yeah, you might have to get Randall and get a cheap punt play, but
I think what we're finding out here is it's kind of difficult to assemble a cash lineup tonight, especially on a
yeah,
small slate.
yeah, it's going to be pretty hard tonight. Um,
Just a small slate lends itself to being like a GPP night.
yeah, definitely. I mean, you mentioned earlier Omar Ashik. I don't know if you want to put him in there or not.
Well, then we're gonna have to turn this into our GPP play.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he has. If you look at it, man, he's got a good matchup. The Lakers, they're pretty bad against centers lately. Um,
Yeah, but
Earlier in the
Ashik
year,
sucks.
yeah, that
Ashik's not good.
there's no question. There's no question there. He's not a good player by any means. But if he gets some motivation in him, and he gets 25 points. I mean, that really really helps you out. But like I said, that's a GPP play. That's not for cash.
Yeah, on the lineup optimizer, they have I don't know if I agree with it, but they got Roy Hibbert as the second best cheap option out there for sinners. I mean, he obviously has a good matchup, but it's Roy Hibbert, and he's downright terrible. I don't
Yeah,
think I can take Hibbert.
I don't think I would ever really play him. Um,
I mean, he does have a pretty easy matchup, but
we mentioned it earlier. If we need a couple $100, we could move down from Cole to Beverly. So I mean, I don't know, just throwing that out there as well.
that would give you $4,300, and that could get you Alex Lynn.
Or
Alex Lynn's been sharing minutes with Morris, so that's not going to happen.
yeah, that's not going to work out at all.
I mean, for the most part, we got a pretty good lineup. I mean, it may not hurt to take a Biombo or Leonard or Ashik. I know it's not the sexiest pick out there, obviously, but if you get you 20 points, you should be fine because you got Lillard, McCollum, Anthony, Davis, Randall. They should, for the most part, they should cover you. And if you look at, I know it's a 50-50, but if you look at most of the winning lineups, they always have that one dud in there that gets 15, 20 points, but it works out for them. So.
Yeah, and I mean, Biombo has been looking not too bad.
Yeah, the only bad thing about Biombo obviously is coming off the bench.
Right, but I mean, I don't know. I think they're going to be rotating them out.
Yeah. So is that out of all the cheap guys, you want to go with Biombo or what here?
Out of all those cheap guys, I mean, you tell me, would you rather take Ashik or Biombo?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, obviously Biombo has a little bit more upside, but he is coming off the bench, and like we said earlier, this Phoenix Raptor game should be. I mean, sorry, this Trailblazer Raptor game should be relatively close. So, how much minutes is he really going to get? Because last time he faced Phoenix, it was actually relatively close, but everything else, he just hasn't been playing too much. So, man, I don't know. And you got Myers Leonard, but I don't really trust Leonard really. I know you might have to go with Ashik, dude. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel so good.
Unless we change somebody out here, but I just don't see who we're gonna change out. I don't think there's any other cheap point guards out there that we really care for. Corey Joseph, but yeah, he's just been everywhere.
I guess one thing we could do, I don't really like this, but I mean, if you want to back off McCollum and go down to Williams, but I would love to have McCollum in there.
Yeah, let's see if that works here.
I mean, it gives up a lot of money.
Even if you have Williams, you still can't give Valanciunas, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I just don't know. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that for now. Obviously, these aren't our final lineups. This is just a rough draft. Obviously injuries are going to come out and stuff like that. We're just doing a rough draft usually. So, so who do you want to go with? You pick Biombo or Ashik? Who do you like there? I know it's bad choice, but
really bad choice. I think I'm gonna have to just go with Biombo.
Okay. Yeah, it's like we said earlier, you don't need too much from him. 15 or 20 points. Like I said, the only bad thing is if this is a close game, Valanciunas may stay in there a little longer. But the only positive thing, Valanciunas' minutes been cut the last 2 games, so maybe Biombo will play a little more. But for now, we got Lillard, Cole, McCollum, Booker, Anthony, Stanley Johnson, Davis, Randall, and Biombo. Like I said, for the most part, it's not bad. The only guy, Stanley Johnson. but
If
he's
he
not too
hits
bad.
20, that's all you need.
Yeah, against New York, New York Knicks not too bad of a defense, but I don't know. I don't really mind him here tonight. So, like I said, if he's starting, he should get about 35 minutes probably, because Kentavious Caldwell Pope he gets a huge amount of minutes, so Johnson may have to pick up for that. So
Yeah. So this is pretty much dependent on that injury. If that injury doesn't come through, if Johnson's not going to get the start, then this whole lineup kind of is shot.
yeah, it says he's out, but um, let me see here. Yeah, it says Biombo is projected at 16. I'm going to look at his player card here real quick. I like to look at that once in a while. Um, his upside's pretty good. Um, his consistent, obviously low. His bargain is not too good of a bargain. So, um, yeah, once you get down there, it's hard to really do anything. So anyway, that's I guess our 50-50 GPP kind of lineup right there. All right, let me get rid of these guys here, and we'll do our GPP one. It'll probably look kind of similar, because we got our base players that we really do like. But
Absolutely.
um, all right, for GPP, who you gonna go with Lillard once again, or what are you gonna do here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we came to an agreement here that we like Lillard's upside more than Lowry tonight.
And then I don't, in this GPP, I don't really want to go with Cole. Um, I want to pick somebody different. So, for me, I'm going to go with Beverly in this one. He's a GPP play for me. Plus, he's a little cheaper, so I like Beverly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can go up to Drew Holiday. I don't know if you want to do that. I mean, maybe.
That was honestly one thing that I was considering is going up actually at point guard, but then moving down at other positions.
Yeah, well, it's up to you. I mean, this is obviously going to be a GPP. Bryce Jones might come into question. So we're going to have a little bit extra money than usual. So I'll put.
Right. I think you can probably start with Holiday and then move down to Beverly if you have to.
Yeah, we'll see. Holiday, obviously has a really good matchup, but we'll have to see. He's just been everywhere, and Cole and Beverly, kind of put up the same numbers the last couple games than he has. But as we said before, if anyone can go off, it's going to be Drew Holiday. So.
Right. That's the whole intent of this kind of lineup.
Yeah, and maybe you can go with Lillard, Lowry. We both don't like putting two point guards against each other. Plus, they're for the most part, they're two pretty good defenders. Lillard's getting a little bit better, but you said earlier Lowry's still hurting a little bit, so I don't know if I want to take a chance with him or not. So.
Yeah, I like Lillard's upside tonight much more.
All right,
Shooting guard.
I'm gonna put Drummond in there just because I know we're gonna want Drummond.
I like that.
So shooting guard, actually, on this one, I may go with Lou Williams, Devin Booker. I don't know.
Well, that's basically what I was kind of getting at with let's spend up at the point guard so we can get that Holiday potential, and then I mean really going down to Lou Williams, I don't hate that at all.
I mean, it don't matter if Kobe is in or is he's not in. Lou Williams still gets his good minutes. Like I said, easy matchup here. If he gets to 25, 30, he should be fine.
He really attacks those lanes, goes into the paint, gets to the foul line. I like a player like that.
Yeah, he's really aggressive. Doesn't matter who he's playing. He plays hard and gets to the foul line and gets some points. So yeah, I don't mind Williams and Booker tonight. Obviously, you want to get Harden in there, but he's just too much.
I don't know if
too
he's
much
gonna
for
hit
me.
55, 60 points. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, then I'm gonna let's put in Anthony. So yeah, see, it's getting down there though.
Already down at 52.
It's at 50 at 52 already. I guess we can put in.
G.
You want to put in G?
Yeah. Just, I mean,
Oof. All
yeah,
right.
we're gonna have to save money somewhere. I don't know. If you, unless you want to stick with Johnson. I mean, really, it's only $100 more. But
Well, you know what? I'm gonna try a. I'm gonna go take out Williams, just as a GPP. I'm gonna put in Booker. I'm gonna put in Bryce Jones. We mentioned him earlier. Obviously not safe, but $3,500. You know, this is a GPP lineup.
yep.
I'm gonna take out G. I'm just gonna do that just for now. I'm gonna put in Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, I prefer that honestly.
I just think he has a little bit more upside. Now that leaves us with 14K for two players, so that's a little bit more respectable.
Hmm.
And even like you said, if we need to, we can get rid of Holiday or something like that. Let's see.
Well,
Yeah, I
we're gonna
just
be
don't.
leaving money on the board, or we're gonna be short. So
Yeah, if you get Davis, it's only $3,900 left. So I don't know if you want to go with two mid-range power forwards or not here.
um,
Or we could take Drummond out and put in Valanciunas, but you know, like I said, his minutes are everywhere.
I prefer Drummond.
Okay. Um, yeah, you might have to take out Holiday. Man, this is a huge GPP lineup, though. Oof.
You could throw in Scola there. He's down to 3,800.
Yeah, there you go. I
Yeah,
don't
it's not
trust
gonna
him.
work out at all.
I don't trust him.
Yeah, it looks like we might have to move off Holiday actually.
Yeah, I took him out and put in Cole. Um, and then I put in Davis, and that left me with $5,700. Still can't get Randall in there. That leaves me with $500 short. So that's actually not, you know, obviously we can't do it, but I actually really do like that lineup with Lillard, Cole, Booker, Jones, Anthony Johnson, Davis, Randall, and Drummond. It's a pretty good lineup.
That's why we
But
can't afford it.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, jeez. I don't know who you want to get rid of here.
Well, we gotta back off and get $500. So
Or do you want to take out Randall and put in Morris? I don't know.
well, we generally don't like to play guys who are playing each other, but I mean, we saw what happened last night with Davis and Aldridge, both going off. I think they scored about 110 points between the two. That could happen tonight, but
Oh, well, on the ratings, they got Anthony Davis and Markieff Morris, the two top power forwards of the night. Um, and then they got Randall, obviously. Randall has a little bit higher upside than Markieff Morris. Randall's projected at 28 and Morris at 27, so I don't know if you can, you know, really trust their projections or not, but if you go by the projections, obviously Morris is the
Morris
better.
is the pick. And
Yeah,
then you don't have to switch the rest of the lineup around to fit people in.
yeah. I mean, you know, obviously Morris not too bad of a play, really. Um, obviously he's a gamble play just because he's so everywhere. But his last two games, you know, they're playing him a lot more. Um, he shot 20 times against the Raptors, so he's shooting a lot. You know, and the other thing about Markieff Morris is, you know, there's no Knight, there's no Bledsoe, so you know he's gonna have to pick up the you know, the scoring because there's really nobody else on Phoenix that's really gonna score. You know, Devin Booker, but you know that's really it. So Morris is gonna have to pick it up. So yeah, I don't mind Morris honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm definitely comfortable with that actually in this lineup.
yeah, then we have $500 remaining. So
You could move Jones up to Henderson if you want, but I mean, I think I'd rather keep Jones in.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just don't see anybody else. Marcus Thornton, don't trust that guy.
No.
And then you have Jordan McRae. McRae's been, he's screwed us over quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see him at all in this. I just don't see anybody else.
I don't really see any reason to move off of this lineup from where we're at right now.
No. I mean, if we had the extra money, I wouldn't mind getting PJ Tucker, but obviously we're $300 short, so
Right.
I don't know where else you can really upgrade. The only bad thing is Jones and Stanley Johnson are two weak parts, but obviously it's a GPP.
Yeah, that's part of GPP, right? You leave yourself open on certain picks, but if they pay off tremendously, then that helps you out.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go with Howard or not. I just don't trust him. Probably going to go with Drummond, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, this is obviously just a rough draft lineup. Injuries, might happen, so you have to keep that open. It's really not a pretty slate tonight at all. A lot of question marks everywhere.
Well, yeah, it's only a 4 game slate. It doesn't lend itself to value. You're gonna have to make some tough calls.
Yeah, definitely, you're gonna have to do that. Um, so, yeah, I just is there anybody else that you kind of you might go with if that we haven't picked? Obviously Beverly, we like him.
Beverly is one guy possibly.
I mean, if you want to do a Lillard Lowry stack, you could do that, but I just don't know how that's going to pan out.
We haven't talked about him much, but he's been hit and miss. And if Brandon Knight doesn't play, I mean Archie Goodwin might have a night where he plays at a high level, but I don't think I'm going to take him. I expect to see a lot of him in tourney lineups though.
Yeah, and he's $5,100. I mean, he's just way too much right now.
Yeah, can you count on him for 25 on a night in night out basis?
No, and that's why you'd probably go with Beverly or Cole. A little bit cheaper, and they're more consistent.
Yeah, I think Cole honestly offers a higher ceiling anyways,
Yeah, definitely.
and he's cheaper.
But like I said, if Evans comes back, that totally hurts him quite a bit. And Jones.
Yeah, one guy we weren't really able to fit in, but I actually do really love tonight is Randall. Um, I could be completely wrong, but I don't think Davis plays defense that well. Young athletic guys, they can play well against Davis too.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just up to how you feel about fitting in, a guy like that. You know, some people might not, feel so comfortable taking Anthony tonight.
Yeah, but like I said, I just don't want to leave that small forward open. It's just too
Yeah,
much holes.
he's the only star of the night, really,
Yeah, definitely. Um,
at that position at least.
yeah, I mean he doesn't have the best matchup, obviously, but um,
He's one of those guys that can actually be matchup proof, though.
yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna try and see what happens if I try and get Harden in here. Um, yeah, I just don't see who you can take out if you try and get Harden.
You leave
He's
yourself
just
open on too many fronts.
yeah, definitely. That's a huge GPP if you want to get him there. So, um, yeah, I think for the most part though we got it down. Like I said, obviously it's just a rough draft, and stuff can change. So, um, we'll have to see. Closer to game time, we're still 12 hours away, so a lot of injuries can happen and stuff like that. So,
And Tyreek Evans could be announced that he's going to come back into the starting lineup and really mess up all these picks.
oh yeah, definitely easy. Um,
I mean,
so
that brings down Davis's usage as well. Not as well as the obvious, guard play.
Yeah, definitely. Which might suck a little bit. I mean, I think Davis's usage obviously still high, but obviously Evans is going to get in there. Only thing about Evans is how much are they really going to use him since he's been
Yeah,
out for a while.
I don't think they're gonna throw him in there for 40 minutes and he's gonna be running the ball up and down the court, running the offense through him. But
No.
he definitely is a guy who he's gonna get the ball in his hands. He's gonna want to take a shot or two. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing, I think it was in the off season he had a huge surgery and stuff like that. He had an injury, so he's still kind of dealing with that, not too much, but if you're the coaching staff, you still got to take into consideration. He was just coming off a huge injury, so.
Yeah, I think that's what this knee tendonitis or whatever they're calling it. That's what it is. His knee's flaring up from that surgery.
Yep. So, yeah, I think for the most part that really does it. Um, I don't really see anybody else I really loving out here. Um, we didn't talk about Corey Brewer. He's a hit and miss kind of guy, though. Um, but
Yeah, it's hard to pick which rocket is going to go off.
yeah, I mean,
'Cause-
but if for some reason Capella is out, I think they're going to start Corey Brewer, and then Ariza at the power forward. Obviously, throughout the game, Ariza is going to obviously play small forward more, and then Smith will probably go to power forward. But I think Brewer is going to get you about 20 points. Nothing special here.
Yeah, you got a guy like Stanley Johnson though, who barring KCP playing, which it obviously looks like he's going to sit. Johnson's going to he's going to have a huge opportunity for minutes here. I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to ignore. I know he normally gets good minutes, but he's not also the first choice at small forward every night.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, I just don't really see anybody else out here. Um, yeah, I just don't see anyone else I really like out here. So yeah, that's probably it for the most part.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what it's looking like to me.
Obviously we're gonna have lineups later today. We talked about it earlier, but anyway, we're gonna set up a Twitter account for both of us, where we're both gonna post lineups, 50-50s and GPPs for you guys. We will have the Twitter account in the description. Just click on that, go over there, and you'll see see our lineups for each day. Before I used to tell you guys to send me an email. I was getting too many emails from you guys, couldn't keep up with you guys. So instead, we're going to create our own Twitter account. Like I said, just go over there, and about 45 minutes to an hour before game time, we should post them. Also, if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask there as well. So yeah, I mean, I think that does it for the most part. Obviously, if you guys haven't checked out Fantasy Aces, I've been telling you guys to check that out for a little bit. But if you guys want to check that out, it's kind of like a DraftKings format for the most part. It's pretty fun. Anthony, you've played it a little bit. I got you into it. You don't mind it either.
No, it's pretty fun. I like it. It's one of those, kind of like DraftKings where it gives you a little more freedom on how you can compile your lineup. The way it groups just guards and forwards. I like that.
Yeah, and it gives you two utility guys. So, maybe, some nights there's like 3 or 4 power forwards you want. Obviously, you can plug them in, all of them in there. So, it's, and it's not really a big, a big website yet. A lot of small leagues, so a little bit easier to win than Fanduel, obviously. But like I said, if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. I have a link in the comment section. Click on it. You guys can check it out. Pretty fun site. So anyway, I think that mostly does it for tonight. If you guys do like this, obviously leave a like. We do appreciate it. If you guys want us to do this more often, where we go a little bit more in depth than usual, let us know. We'll probably start doing this a little bit more. We both like it. We both get our take on each game. So
Yeah, we're gonna
Um,
be doing it anyway, so
yeah, we do it anyway. So why not just let you guys get in on it as well. So, all right, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this. Like I said, check us out on the Twitter. We will have it in the comment section or description, either one. So, all right, guys. Hope everyone has a good day, and hopefully everybody wins some money. So,
yeah, good luck, guys. Let's kill it.
all right.